found proof the aforementioned facts described. This court considers that they constitute the following international crimes. Firstly, the systematic human rights violations suffered by the Rojava people have their first and original course in the crime of aggression committed by Turkey. As it was pointed out by the prosecution team, aggression is the trigger for all other crimes and was condemned by the International Military Tribunal of Nuremberg as the supreme international crime, differing only from other war crimes in that it contains within itself the accumulated evil of the whole. Well, this crime
Avrupa Parlamentosunda Türk Devleti'nin işlediği katliamlarla ilişkin alınan kararlar açıklanıyor.
Given by the United Nations General Assembly in the Resolution 3314 of 1974, as Turkish troops and their jihadist proxies have attacked the Rojava territory and since 2018 have occupied illegally the region of Afrin. Moreover, direct aggression against Syrian territorial integrity continues as Turkey has not stopped bombing and launching drone and heavy artillery strikes. The Turkish justification for its military offensive is neither authorized by the United Nations Security Council, nor does it meet the requirements of self-defense, since Turkey has suffered no armed attack by the Syrian armed forces or by the Kurdish forces belonging to the Democratic Autonomous Administration of North and East Syria. Therefore, the alleged Turkish self-defense against terrorism neither conforms to the facts nor respects international law and the United Nations Charter. And it follows that both the state of Turkey and the senior Turkish officials named as defendants are responsible for the commission of the crime of direct and indirect aggression. At the same time, all these military actions of aggression, when directed against civilian targets such as hospitals and schools, as has been described, constitute war crimes. As an occupying power, Turkey is bound by the Geneva Conventions, which has been ratified not only by Turkey but also by Syria. According to Article 2, the Conventions applies in all armed conflicts between contracting states, regardless of a formal declaration of war. It also applies in cases of occupation, even without resistance. Turkey, as an occupying power, has fundamental obligations under the four Geneva Conventions to protect the civilian population, respect local laws, provide humanitarian aid, and prevent deportations and exploitation of resources. This tribunal finds that grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions have been proved, and these acts constitute war crimes and entail individual criminal responsibility for the perpetrators. According to Article 147, grave breaches include willful killing, torture or inhuman treatment, willfully causing great suffering or serious injury, illegal deportation, transfer or detention, denying a protected person a fair trial, destruction or appropriation of property not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and arbitrarily. In areas of eastern Syria not occupied by Turkey, but subjected also to direct attacks from Turkish armed forces or their controlled militias, Fourth Geneva Convention still applies. Moreover, the use of military force remains also governed by customary national humanitarian law principles. Violated in these cases include principle of distinction, protection of civilian property, prohibition of banned means and methods of warfare such as chemical and biological weapons, and retaliation against civilians, cultural property, and the environment. Although Turkey has not ratified the first additional protocol, its principles have become part of customary international law and constitute jurisprudence, binding, obviously, Turkey. Establish individual responsibility for war crimes. At the same time, this tribunal concludes that the war crime of pillage has been proved. The occupying forces have looted and seized houses and lands in Africa, provoking further displacement of the Kurdish population and facilitating the resettlement of Sunni Arab families from Eastern Ghouta into the homes of displaced Kurds. Which also constitutes another great breach of the Geneva Conventions. Likewise, the attacks and looting of archaeological treasures, such as the emblematic basalt iron of the Arab of Indara and the mosaics of Cyrus ancient Roman amphitheater, constitute a crime of pillage. In the context of international and internal conflicts is as well. Its nature, international norm is by international jurisprudence. In this sense, the companies that have profit from the plunder of olive oil